Chris, what do you do at quarterback? I'll give Aiden Warner a lot of credit for guts and moxie, and not much for talent. It just is what it is. If you felt like you were watching a guy fresh out of high school making his first start, are these games unwinnable without more talent at quarterback, or how do you approach it? Is there anything else down there that we would be considering?
You know what? Your guess is probably as good as mine to some degree, but I would say. Maybe you take a page out of Kentucky's playbook from a few years back when they moved Lynn Bowden to quarterback, and Eddie Grant had a great plan for just trying to run some old school offense that you can maybe get a hat on the hat. That's really the only thing. I don't think you're going to be able to line up and run obviously the full complement of your offense, but the passes have to be probably more around the line of scrimmage and taking your shots, choose your moments when you throw some down the field. But, man, I don't know about you guys. I held my breath every time there was any sort of pass that was probably past the
No, I just felt it.
mark.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, you could feel it.
Water cooler talk. Chris Doering, our guest from the SEC Network. Obviously, everybody's talking about the Florida faithful are talking about it. So what happens now? Look, there's a lot of factors that go involved into determining what's going to happen with Billy Napier, okay? And it's really divided, in terms of Gator Nation. Half are like, and half are like, give him another year, and other half are like, it's unacceptable what's going on with him. So where do you stand? What do you think? How do you improve recruiting, which doesn't look good this year right now? I think they're 33rd in the latest rankings, if you will. Just give me a broadband stroke of what you think about Gator football going forward, or do we just let this thing play out and then decide?
I'm with you. I imagine I'm with you guys because there was a point in the season after the Texas A&M loss that I was ready to pull the plug on it right then, and then all of a sudden, I went and did some research prior to our show yesterday morning. Since the calendars turned to October. Mm-hmm. We were dead last in takeaways. I think we've moved all the way up to second since October in the SEC. We were dead last in 15th and 16th, and a couple other defensive statistics that we've moved up into the top 3 or 4 in. And it's just I don't know where the improvement came from, but all of a sudden the defensive line is penetrating and disruptive. All of a sudden we got opportunistic players in the secondary. I love Jack Pyburn. I mean, he might be one of my favorite players in Florida in a while. But on the offensive line, they're able to move people up front. We're running hard, developing a little bit of an attitude. It just, to me, it feels like something has changed, and I don't want to. I don't want to lose whatever momentum it seems like we have. You're not going to be able to judge the program based on wins going forward. I mean, it's not going to be a fair metric without a quarterback that can run the offense. But what I've seen are guys that are playing hard for this coaching staff, that are improving as the year's gone on. Those are things that you want to see, and I see the biggest contributors being freshmen and sophomore guys that this coaching staff has brought in the last couple signing classes that they're developing and putting in positions to be successful. So I don't want to be naive, but at the same time, I'm seeing everything that I'd like to see minus the wins. And, again, you're not going to have those given where we are with the quarterback situation right now. So if you ask me gun to head right now, I'd probably say give them another year and let's try to keep the core of this team together. And because every player you talk to, whether it's a young player or Graham Mertz, these guys, they talk about how much they love Billy Napier. They love playing in this offense. They love playing in this program. And there's so much to celebrate off the field. It's just the one piece missing is the winning, which is obviously the most important part when you talk about college football coaching.
It's a tough one. It ties your loyalty in knots. I mean, there is a reality that's hard to accept. That in accepting that, you're accepting mediocrity. I mean, mediocrity be an upgrade from where the Florida football program has been now going on 4 years. And so and I think that is what, yet, a switch doesn't mean instant success. I mean, 2 dudes have been impact hires there in the last 100 years.
Yeah.
It's not easy just to, I'm in the category that I'm not going to forget we are where we are, and we need to be excited about this minimal improvement because of how we've been driven to that point to begin with. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want a new coach, bad. But I'm not to the point of, I'm not wishing they lose or wishing him they will or hoping, and I will accept if he's not. But I'm not. I can't get out of that that lane that you talked about, that was exacerbated by the early season in particular.
I go back to the one question that you have to ask yourself when you're going to think about making a coaching move is there a guy out there that I know is a can't miss home run hire, and can we go get him? And there was a time that I thought that maybe that was Lane Kiffin. I'm not sure if that's the case now, but I think what you're seeing in college football is like the landscape changing so much. Like, I'm not even sure what a good coach is. Like, what skill set do you have to be a good coach in the day of NIL and managing the transfer portal and rosters and game day coaching? There's so much that goes into it that even, like, you're seeing Georgia. Georgia's not what Georgia was a couple years ago. I mean, Kirby Smart's admitted that. I went through and ranked my top 5 nationally, and outside of Oregon, I don't feel good about any of the ones I put at the top. I don't feel great about Georgia. I don't feel good about Ohio State. I definitely don't feel good about Texas, and Miami's defense is terrible. Like, I don't know that there are really good teams out there anymore, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it provides a chance for everybody. I mean, the Indiana story is one of hope for that fan base, but I just don't know who you can go get that is going to come in and win without a doubt.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here. Thanks so much for checking out our 1010XL Florida Gators page. If you're looking for more Florida content, subscribe now. But if you're looking for some professional football, NFL content, head over to our 1010XL Jaguars page.